Hello, is this Mr. Gambino here with a new stream? In this stream, we're going over the event week for this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. But yeah, honestly, I chose to do this like early Monday or something because it's not a very exciting week, unfortunately. There's literally no new content in this week, basically, in terms of like new vehicle or like free mode events and the typical kind of stuff they've been doing recently. They didn't do really any of that. And yes, the drip feed's not over, by the way, for those wondering. So it's not because the drip feed's over for why the event's boring. They just, I guess, decided not to do something this week for some reason for a major content addition. But yeah. Anyways, going more into this stuff here. Nightclub revenues. Our nightclub business earned double the daily income. So I assume the daily income would obviously be like the passive, like safe money. So that's like for the popularity missions, not to be confused with the business side of things. They almost never do anything in terms of the business side of things because it's already pretty good because it's completely passive and you pretty much don't necessarily even have to do much of anything with it. And even then, it's became a good bit better since the new Criminal Enterprise update that expanded upon it and whatnot. So I'm most definitely assuming that's the safe take there for those popularity missions with the way it's worded and everything. And yeah, with the changes they did with the 9th gen version that they eventually brought to the 8th gen version with the improved money in the safe take, you should definitely get some pretty decent money out of the safe. I think you can make up to 50,000 at one time. At least like without an event, if I remember, so it could make some pretty decent money if done right with those. And yeah, if you complete nightclub style missions, you'll get a $250,000 bonus. And it says it in plural, and that's somewhat true. From what I saw on the newswire, it looks like if you do one nightclub style mission at all, you get 250,000. Plus, if you do like free nightclub sales, you'll get another 250,000 bonus. So kind of similar to what they did a week or two back, I think, with like the bunker stuff. Where doing one sale gets you 250,000, and doing like free sales gets you another 250,000. So you can make some pretty damn decent extra money for the nightclub sales. Doing that kind of, so that's pretty nice. Nightclub, in my opinion, is definitely one of the top couple best things you can do in terms of the business side of things and be doing all the different content in the entire game. Because, like I mentioned, it mostly does its own stuff passively. So while you're actively doing other things, your nightclub can still produce. And yeah, Sprunk versus E. Cola last week for the Sprunk versus E. Cola war. And yeah, one way you can get those points is by joining the official Sprunk or E. Cola social club crew. And you can also consume the chosen drinks. And I think the other one on the news wire is like the bodysuit thing. That's pretty much all stuff already known, but I just want to remind people here because it's on here after all in this main menu on the 9th gen version. And yeah, for the title, I chose the HSW time trial just because I own the 9th gen version. I figured I would use that for the title, for the money opportunity to highlight on the title. So yeah, that will get you 2 times money RP. Normally that's just like 200,000, so you should make like 500,000 on the time trial for the HSW one only on 9th gen. So pretty insane money there on if you're fortunate enough to be on the 9th gen systems. And yeah, unfortunately here there's only like 3 things for some reason. So I'm trying to see if there's anything new here. Looks like there's a 50% bonus on the actual sale missions as well. That's nice. At most, you can already like normally make like around like 1 mil, and even then, that might have been buffed as well when they like upped like the amount on like the biker businesses. I believe they upped the amount on those when it increased the amount on like the biker businesses when the 9th gen version first came out and whatnot. And eventually that made its way to 8th gen and stuff as well. So the normal amounts could even be more like 2 million, so maybe you can make around like 3 million with like 50% bonus at maximum. Since the still missions have that 50% more. So you have very insane money. And yeah, honestly, for those you need like all the like you need like the CEO business, you need like all those MC businesses, you need like the bunker. Yeah, I think that's actually it. Actually, I think those are the 7 different like businesses in the nightclub that it consolidates basically. And you might be able to like exchange the like CEO for like the hangar if you don't have CEO for some reason. So if you're pretty new to that all, that's all you kind of need to get the nightclub going basically. So it's a very like end game kind of business, but very worth it. And the best way to get the money, like the passive money, is to kind of be AFK. I assume you can still do it. You might still be able to go on like the test track, and then you might just be able to stay on the enter exit like test track screen, whatever. I like the car meet, and that might be a way to stay AFK in the game. From what I heard, they patched the security camera method like a year to like year and a half ago. But yeah, as far as I know, you might still be able to go on the enter exit test track screen, and you might not be able to get kicked from the game. So if you want to make that passive money like while you sleep and stuff like that, that's a way you can do that. Like in real life, I mean. And yeah, also shit like utility fees being waived for the 14th, a very small like fee reduction thing. Like you won't have to pay like a certain fee. Trying to see if there's anything really much here. Okay. There is actually a new clothing unlock. If you just log in at any point, you get the red glow shades. I think they did like green the previous week or something. Obviously, for like Sprunk, this time they'll be giving out the red glow shades. And I don't think they previously gave out the green glow shades. So I assume these red ones should definitely be new. I don't think they've given them out before. So if you like exclusive clothing, at least log in for that, I would say. Given it's not a very exciting week this time. And then, yeah. Reminder, the rewards are like the varsity jacket, the cap, and the parachute bag for the winning team. So whatever one of those two wins, that's the different clothing stuff that will be coming out. And yeah, given I think Sprunk has the like most popular, given Sprunk I think is the more popular crew, I'm gonna assume that Sprunk's probably gonna win. Though I feel Eco is cooler personally when it comes to the actual soda because it's caffeinated, whereas Sprunk would not be caffeinated, given what it's like based off on real life and whatnot. And then yeah, Premium Deluxe Motorsport lineup this time around. But yeah, lineup at the Premium Deluxe Motorsport this time around includes the Baller. But yeah, the Baller there is not actually normally able to be purchased on the GT Online website, as it says on the bottom there. So yeah, if you want to purchase the Baller, this would actually be a good week to do that. Otherwise, you pretty much have to rely on like street spawns and stuff like that. But yeah, being a day one vehicle and stuff, it's most definitely not really all that impressive in terms of customization and stuff. And yeah, if they'd done like newer ballers and like recent DLCs, that's just like the Baller ST, And the baller even has like this armored version, so I honestly probably wouldn't really recommend that, to be honest. And yeah, I can go over the rest at Simeon's. Or actually, I'll go in a bit more detail since it's already up here, anyways. But yeah, the Kniss Seminole Frontier is in a red garnet red paint job and a metallic garnet red paint job. And then it's combined with the old wood livery. I think it's a Goy is painted with a metallic red and then bedecked in a wave livery. Classic blaze red Dinka Blista Kanjo is wrapped in a shopping list livery. And it seems for the car meet rep, you have to unlock that livery after reaching rank 11. So I assume if you're under rank 11 for any reason at the car meet, you might be able to still obviously be able to get the livery early and whatnot on the Blista Kanjo there. And then a pearlescent Torino red, the classic tulip, equipped with the bad livery. So, all but the baller obviously have like liveries on them because the baller's a day one vehicle doesn't have liveries. And yeah, for the rest, I'll pretty much have to go into the game because they don't put much in that what's the new menu anymore, unfortunately. So I have to rely on like stuff in game basically for most of the stuff, unfortunately, anymore because of how little effort they put into there now. Apparently it's doing that, like... But yeah. Apparently I still had my money from the previous time trial, it looked like. But once I get off here and stuff, I'll talk about like, the time trials and stuff like I usually do. But yeah. Regular time trial for this week is Borough Heights. says like PB en route to the stars, so I wonder if I would be like Galileo Observatory or something. Either way, I'll probably be doing this time trial later on, because I tend to do the time trials recently-ish for the event week streams and like the week editions and stuff. I tend to always do the time trials outside for RCB and Dito, which I'm not too interested in. But yeah, as per usual, I recommend like motorcycles or supercars. I wouldn't really say anything would really be all that much worth using aside for a motorcycle and a supercar if you're just purely focused on trying to do these time trials as fast as possible. So yeah, for a motorcycle, which is what I would recommend personally for the most part in a time trial, obviously on the 9th gen with the one motorcycle that has HSW upgrade, I would recommend the HSW Hot Chow Drag. But if you're on the 8th gen version, there's a couple good options and stuff, I would say. I'm mainly just going to go over a lap time and stuff. Top speed would be more like highway and stuff. I'll try to go over a couple good 8th gen motorcycles. But yeah, the Western Reaver from the contract DLC, I'm pretty sure is still pretty good, so Western Reaver should be pretty good from like the contract DLC in that motorcycle. The regular Hot Chow Drag on 8th gen could be kind of good even in some cases for a lap time, if I recall. I think Reaver is more for like top speed, if I recall. The Nagasaki Shotaro has a good balance in like lifetime top speed, if I recall. And then even the Body like 801 from like day one of the game, Body 801, like $15,000 like motorcycle or something from day one of the game, that's even still a pretty decent option still, I believe. So there should be a few good motorcycle options for the 8th gen people. And yeah, for supercars, on 9th gen again, you'll obviously want to use like HSW ones. So on 9th gen for HSW, like supercars, that would be like the weaponized Ignis, which means better one for lap times. So most time trials, I would say weaponized Ignis for the HSW supercar. For top speed for HSW supercar, I think would go to the HSW Devastate 8. And then, yeah, pretty interesting choice for supercar, for the other supercar would be the Cyclone 2. We had a Cyclone 2, its main specialty is acceleration, so if you were to be slowed down, your vehicle could get up to speed pretty quick. So because of the crazy acceleration, it's pretty bad for top speed. That's mainly because it's an electric car for the Cyclone 2. Must be those red glow shades for the clothing unlock. And yeah, for supercars, for a couple good ones, like a couple few good ones for 8th gen. Benefactor Krieger and Progen Emerist from like the Damasceno Resort DLC tend to be a couple of the better supercars for a lap time, if I recall. And then I think that new LM87 from the Criminal Enterprises update should be pretty good as well for the LM87. And then top speed, I believe on 8th gen the best top speed would probably go to the P-Fister 811 from like Finance Felony or something like that, like mid-2016 release vehicle there. That's like 1.1 million. Another top speed one would go to the regular Devastate on 8th gen, I believe. Since yeah, obviously 9th gen is HSW, Devastate 9th gen, if you're going top speed, would be HSW, Devastate. We had a regular Devastate, so pretty decent if I recall on 8th gen. And then the Banshee 900R is another pretty good top speed option when it comes to time trials. For some reason, it mostly takes place on like a highway. RC Bandito time trial this time around goes to Power Station, which is actually the last of the 10 RC Bandito time trials. So starting next event, it should look back to the first one at Construction Site 1. But yeah, Power Station, I think there's like NPCs and stuff that can spawn in like the morning time, like probably like the afternoon and stuff, so it might be kind of better to do it at nighttime in some cases. Or like if it were to like rain or something, I would maybe like despawn the pedestrians. But even then, those kind of have their own disadvantages, like the weather and stuff. Not really much advice on top of my head I can think of. The main thing with the RC Bandito time trials is you just gotta know how to like corner with your RC Bandito and stuff in each of the different like spots and whatnot. All depends on the track. Especially with the RC Bandito ones, I mean the best way to go about this is to just keep trying until you get it if you want it for some reason. It only pays like $100,000, and since you can only use the one vehicle, in my opinion, they're not really that interesting. But after this, it should loop back to Construction Site 1, which would start the cycle of the 10 RC Bandito time trials again for the next event. And then the 2 times money in RP HSW time trial is HSW East Vinewood. That goes to Vespucci Beach. And this one actually is the first of the like 7 or 8 HSW time trials. So it's actually a pretty easy one. What's this? It's a pretty easy one, and you're getting 2 times money in RP. Actually, granted, all the HSW ones are pretty easy, because I mean, you have to use like the quickest of the vehicles, and because you're using quick vehicles, sometimes they're pretty lenient. But like I said, I think it's the first of the, like the 8 time trials. I think there's 8 HSWs, 8 HSW time trials. And being the first of 8, I'm pretty sure would mean it's definitely one of the easier ones. So even if you're not the biggest on the time trials, it's definitely worth doing. If you're on 9th gen. And again, motorcycle and supercars would be my recommendations. To motorcycle HSW Octo Drag, and then supercar for lap time, Weaponized Ignis, HSW Devastate for top speed, and then kind of the outlier for supercar would be like the Cyclone 2. It has that good acceleration, but not very good top speed and stuff. And premium race for the week is for the Sport Classic class. And yeah, unfortunately it doesn't really say what the course is anymore. It used to do that like on the pause menu even, but it doesn't do that anymore, so I'm not going to go into like what the track is. Like I said, if it has highway, a lot of highway and off the straight, top speed would probably be what you want. For the most part, you would definitely probably want lap time as a main focus, if it's not mostly on the highway and stuff. But yeah, on 9th gen, obviously you would want to use the HSW vehicle. So that would probably be the Turismo Classic HSW or the Sterling GT HSW, and that was added with Criminal Enterprises. Sterling GT, I believe, tends to be the better of the two. Otherwise, a good runner-up would be the Turismo Classic. Yeah, before the like muscle car HSW vehicle came out, like last like event week, whatever, the Sterling GT was apparently the best top speed of the entire game when that came out for the HSW version. So yeah, I think HSW Sterling GT of the two would be the better. And I'll have a look for 8th gen. I don't think we talked about Sport Classic class. I will go on the spreadsheet for Bruffy 152. But yeah. But if you're not on 9th gen and you're on the 8th gen, a couple good options look to be the Turismo Classic, the Cheetah Classic, and then the Rapid GT Classic. But yeah, the Turismo Classic, Cheetah Classic, Rapid GT Classic are a couple of the better like sport classics in the 8th gen where you don't have access to those HSW vehicles. So yeah, that regular Turismo Classic seems to be one of the better ones in 8th gen. But yeah, 9th gen there's the HSW one, but it's kind of different by the Sterling GT now with the latest update. And I got that from the spreadsheet from Bruffy 152, if I didn't mention that yet, but I think I did. I was going to actually check for the clothing or whatever, and like things showed up, like those red glow shades. But I can do that later, since I'm at the casino. I figure I'll go there now.
The Diamond Casino and Resort presents a brand new car available to win today, simply with a spin of a wheel.
Feel like people are staring at us. Just enjoy yourself, Carol. It's fine.
Okay, I got a discount apparently. Or stock cash and carry. Pretty much have all the war stock vehicles if you want, honestly, you know. I pretty much have all the weapons and stuff though, but yeah. Apparently got a 10% off war stock. Yeah, the worst thing about the discount, unfortunately, is it only lasts for 48 minutes. So if you get that, you pretty much have to have the money, and you only get like 48 like real life minutes to do it. So I think basically you get like 2 in-game days or something, which is like the same as like the rate that you get charged like the utilities and stuff like that. So yeah, I didn't get a really good one there, per se. But yeah. Anyways, the podium vehicle this time around is the Obey AF Drafter. Has some kind of livery on it. And I definitely think it's a sport car. I think it might have been in one of the casino resort updates or something. Could be wrong. Yeah, it's not within like the last 2 or 3 updates or whatever featured there. Was it 2 or 4 door though? Might be 2, because most are 2 doors for sport cars and stuff. No, that one might be a 4 door. As soon as on this website, and it is. Okay. Let me look at it again here. Okay, it is a 2 door. Might be on stubborn though, I don't know. What if Preview had some discounts, so I search around and stuff. Man, I'm a bit confused. 100% where it came from then. But I think it was from one of the casino updates I thought. I don't know, maybe it was for a year and just maybe didn't notice it. Okay, yeah, here it is. I was like, I knew it's gotta be in like one of these casino updates if I recall, but yeah. The Obey 8F Drafter, if you do win it, it's $718,000 for the stock vehicle. Plus, I think delivery saves you like $20,000 to $30,000 at most, so you'll save around like $750,000, I'm pretty sure. So you can get an okay, like alright amount of savings, but nowhere near as crazy it can get with other vehicles. Video Bay 8F Drafter should be a sport car if I recall. But yeah, according to Bruffy 1322 spreadsheet, the 8F Drafter is a B tier sport car, and that should make it 21st place lap time and then 55th place top speed. But that was before the Criminal Enterprise update, but it didn't change too much more. But either way, it's not top 10 anywhere, so performance-wise, probably wouldn't really be all that great performance-wise. Top speed, I would say, is below average for the class, but yeah, sport cars have like 90 to like 100 vehicles. So 21st for lap time is not that bad, considering that there's like 90 to 100 sport cars, but still, it's a good, decent bit away from the top 10 though, for both lap time and top speed. Probably not one too worth doing a bunch of wheel spins for, I would say. So yeah, obviously best thing would be customization, like any sort of personal preference kind of reason for getting it. I think I'll go over to the test track next. I think I'll check the road coast sheets later still. Tend to do stuff more outside though, like cart me and stuff near the end of the stream and stuff. Anyways. And yeah, as for why they didn't do like a new vehicle, my best guess is maybe they wanted people to focus on Red Dead Online or something, so that's the best guess I would have, is they wanted people to focus more on the Red Dead Online update, since Red Dead Online actually got like new Telegram missions and stuff for once, since that game's usually the one on the back burner, but this week I would say this game's more on the back burner for once, finally. Yeah, Red Dead should be the one actually getting the updates, since this game's had like several years of updates, whereas Red Dead had like half of that at most. And even then GTA would get the bigger updates, even when both were getting updates. That's my guess for why they didn't do a new vehicle. But yeah, for the typical websites, I think the only ones that get drip feed right now for this update will be like Legendary, Stubborn, and Benny's. We have still the ZX Vigero on Stubborn, SM722 over there, and then Benny's. Still got Briosa 300 wide body, that's the only one that was added so far. But yeah, those are the only websites I think that have drip feed, nothing new on any of those, as the newswire suggested. Yeah, my guess for why they did that, again, maybe they wanted people to focus on the Reddit update, and that's the only logical reason I can think of why they skipped the week. otherwise, it maybe just did it just because, or maybe they forgot to add it for some reason, and then they were like, "Ah, screw it. Let's just make it a generic event." And that's my couple best guesses. But yeah, anyways, I'll start with the test track vehicles this time around. And the last time, I'm pretty sure like all the test track vehicles and stuff are like green for like Sprung theme. This time it's red, obviously, for like Ecola theme. Going more into like the Sprung Ecola wars. But yeah, starting off is the Class A Drift to Tampa. And I'll mainly only go on details of these if they're on like a discount when it comes to these test track vehicles, since you have to like purchase them directly. It's not a free vehicle like the podium stuff and whatnot, obviously, for example. Might still go over a little bit of details on the other ones though. Okay. Looks like the GP1 and the HK are on discount. But not the Drift Tampa, so this seems to be the one that's not on a discount. So I'll probably go over the details on that one at least. But yeah, the Class A Drift Tampa, believe it or not, I actually think this one's in the sport car class for some reason. I don't know why, but I think it's classed as a sport car in this game, which is kind of weird. And yeah, Tampas are traditionally like muscle cars and stuff. So that basically already like says basically the performance is not really going to be that good for the class. And yeah, as the name suggests, it's more of like a drifting vehicle, not more of like a racing vehicle and whatnot. But yeah, something I will say about the Drift Tampa is they did add the ability to put low grip tires on any vehicle if you're choosing, as long as it can go into LS Carmi, I believe is the like only a real requirement. So since they let you put like the low grips on almost any vehicle in the game now, you can actually turn the Drift Tampa into an actual drifting vehicle. Whereas before Criminal Enterprises, you couldn't really do that. So it does have a bit more utility in terms of it being more of an actual drifting vehicle now as the latest update. So that is something kind of cool for the Drift Tampa there. That was literally just added in the latest update. And then the Proton GP1, that is a 30% off discount there. So that will go into the proper performance of the vehicle from roughly 152 spreadsheet. Probably give or take a couple placements or something because of the Criminal Enterprise update, and the spreadsheet I'm using is as of contract still. But yeah. We had a Proton GP1 is in the supercar class. According to Bruffy 1232 spreadsheet, is in the E tier of supercars. E would be pretty bad. And I guess at least 43rd place for a lap time, probably even worse now with Criminal Enterprise, and then 31st top speed. So yeah, 40 for lap time and 31st at least for lap time top speed. And that's way beneath top 10, so... And supercars only have like 40, 50 vehicles, so it's actually pretty bad in both circumstances, I would say. They have more of a good customization vehicle at most, basically. And then this one, I'm not necessarily going to go over the performance of it, like the muscle car performance, or actually this would be a sedan, but yeah. This one's actually a sedan here. And it's also a tuner subclass vehicle as well, which means you can use it in those like street races, pursuit races, and in like robbery contracts and stuff like that. So yeah. The Warner HKR Volcar Warner HKR is apparently on a 40% off discount from when I looked previously on the Newswire. When I was also looking at the GP1's discount, it looked like it was 40% off. But yeah, the Warner HKR is actually the worst tuner vehicle generally. So it's kind of the one most worth avoiding in terms of a performance standpoint. The only reason I would recommend it for tuner is because of its unique classing. Because like 12 out of 17 like tuner vehicles are literally in the sport class. So it's one of those few tuners that are not in the sport class and actually have a different classing, being sedan. That gives it some uniqueness in a sense. And then in terms of robbery contracts, I don't think you can put on like the rear louvers in the back. I don't think you have the option to put on like rear louvers, for example, so you don't get shot out of that back window. So even for robbery contracts, it's kind of not really going to be all that useful in that sense. And yeah, it's pretty much the worst tuner from what I've heard as well. If you want a better sedan tuner, that's also like a 4-door even, because this one's a 2-door, then you should go for the like Tailgater S, I'm pretty sure it's called, for the Tailgater tuner that was added as well from that update. That has better performance and pretty much everything. It'd pretty much do everything this does, but better. And yeah, not to mention, I'm pretty sure Rockstar confirmed there's going to be like 2 new tuner vehicles that are going to be coming out. I think they confirmed that in like some of the like details they were revealing about the update, like before its release on like those 2 to like free news wires and whatnot, before the DLC dropped. Yeah, I think they did say there would be 2 new tuners in this update. And I think from Drifty, they're both like pay vehicles, so it's not going to be even more outclassed as like a sedan vehicle in the future in terms of tuner subclass. But I would assume they would probably be better off than a Warner HKR, so it would probably be even worse of a tuner once those come out. Keep in mind. So yeah, it's the Warner HKR there, basically. Not worth it as that's pretty neat classing. And I can't really recommend it for customizations either, because all the tuners have really good customizations. But all the tuners have pretty good customizations. I can't really recommend it for customizations either. Same goes for performance, obviously. The only good purpose of it is unique classing. But yeah, prize right challenge. First of all, vehicle here is actually the Picasso Cyrus, which is a supercar. And I was back from like Ill-Gotten Gains Part 1, so it's from like mid like 2015, so it's kind of pretty old. And it does also mean it's actually in the story mode as well. It is actually in the story mode because it's one of the older DLC vehicles. And wow, this challenge does not necessarily seem to be the greatest, in my opinion. And that would be placed top 1 in the LS Car Meet Series race for 3 days in a row. So yeah, top 1 in the LS Car Meet Series race 3 days in a row. Obviously, the worst part about it is you're going to have to be pretty dedicated for 3 days in a row, so if you forget a day within the 3, it's going to be reset. But yeah, again, street like pursuit races are probably going to be your main like bet for being able to like do the challenge. I would say you might be able to do like the free mode like sprint races as well. That might count as well for a LS Karting Series race or whatever. But it mainly refers to the ones in the pause menu. So if you're going to go the route of pursuit races, I'll honestly give like a 25% chance at least, if you're not having friends that are going to like purposely like switch off wins or something like that. So that's like at least 25% chance there, basically, with a minimum of 4 to get that first place. But if you do the street races, that's a minimum of 2 players. So if you're racing against random, that's not obviously going to be like letting you win or something. Then that would be like a 50-ish like percent chance of winning in a sense. Just purely off of like the player numbers and like the top one and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know, if you were dedicated enough with a friend or something, you could do pretty decent with that challenge. It wouldn't be that hard if you like exchange wins with a friend, basically. But even then, like I said, yeah, Cyrus is actually in the story mode, so you can literally just get it in the story mode and drive it around in story mode. But I'll go for the performance and stuff though, because it is a free vehicle, so you can earn it. So again, going off of Bruffy 152 spreadsheet for supercar class, the Osiris is at least a C tier supercar. According to Bruffy 152 spreadsheet, and is at least 28th place lap time and then 39th place top speed. But again, there's only like 50 to like 60 supercars in the game. So the Osiris actually doesn't really have that good performance at all. It's way past like top 10 for lap time and top speed. And again, it's not really worthwhile purchasing the online, since you can also get it in the story mode, even it's not one of the many like online exclusive vehicles, since they stopped doing like DLC vehicles in the story mode. So in that sense, it's also not really worth getting. And then yeah, the HSW test ride this time around is the Impante Arbiter GT, which should have like HSW upgrades and stuff on it, so you should get max performance, if not like close to max performance, if it has like stage 1 turbo of like the different 3-stage turbos, for example. But yeah, pretty funny timing actually for them to do the Arbiter GT, considering literally the previous week there was a brand new HSW muscle car that came out, being the HSW Vigero ZX whatever. The HSW Vigero ZX whatever. So now this is even worse of a HSW muscle car. So between the two, it's the worst of the two. And I think it's actually kind of the worst of all of the like HSW like vehicles as well. I don't know, this and the second two might be some of the like slower of the like HSW vehicles when it comes to that top speed and stuff like that. So yeah, with that Vigero ZX now, HSW, it's a bit less worth it now, definitely. But considering there's only 2 HSW muscle cars of the crazy top speed, it's still a very worthwhile pickup if you want it though, on the 9th gen version. Now I think I'll go over to those like luxury autos and stuff like that. And yeah, by the way, I think the Arbiter GT and stuff is actually on discount, by the way, as well. So I think you actually get a discount on the test ride vehicle there for the HSW one this time as well. I think when I was going for Severn, trying to find an 8, when I was trying to find an 8F drafter, I was like going for Severn, and then it seemed like it was on discount. And I think the HSW upgrade as well might be on discount. So you might be getting a discount on the... Oh, whoa, cargo and shipments maxed out. Hey, you don't actually max out the cargo and shipments. I have to check that out actually later. Probably not going to bother with it on stream, honestly. I don't really care to sell it per se, but yeah. I don't know, it's a money opportunity, so I could technically do that. And with invite only now, I don't have to go in like a public lobby. Since yeah, I had to support for the private sessions done and whatnot. We're just doing an eco delivery on that one, that's cool. Okay. So the vehicles on luxury autos this time around was just the one where you like window shop at. You cannot test drive here, but you can only like look at them, like turn them around and like purchase them and stuff. You can't actually test drive them. But yeah. The Benefactor BR8. Be a Benefactor BR8 and then the Fade Nero. Now to see if any of those are on discount. Because if they're on discount, I'll talk more about them. If they're not on discount, I might not talk as much about them. But yeah. None of these appear to be on discount this time for the actual vehicles themselves. But there is something to mention about the Nero here, and that's kind of on discount, kind of not. Like, it's not a targeted discount, but, like, it's kind of like a selection of discounts. But yeah. Driving eligible vehicles to Benny's Original Motorworks in downtown Strawberry and equipping upgrades will cost 50% less than usual this week. So, basically, Benny's upgrades appear to be 50% off for the event. So not the Nero, but the Nero Custom. If you want to upgrade it over to the Nero Custom, it should be 50% less. That's kind of a little bit of incentive to get the Nero in terms of the Nero Custom. But because this is the stock one here and not the custom version, I'm probably not going to talk much about it still. That's probably the most I'll talk about it much. I'm pretty sure I was definitely normal price there, so yeah. If anything's on discount, it'll just be that Benny's upgrade to the Nero Custom, and it's not a targeted discount, because any Benny's upgrade is apparently 50% off this week. But yeah, VR8 is one of those like open wheel vehicles. There's like 4 of them and whatnot. Since there's only 4 open wheel vehicles, they're not really going to be as competitive as like other racing types, I assume. But yeah. So can't really go too wrong with it, considering there's only 4 open wheel vehicles. There's not really much like competition per se. You can have much in an open wheel race per se. But again, you'll be paying full price, and it's like $3-ish, like $1 million. Yeah. Might be like the most expensive one or one of the more expensive open wheel vehicles between the four as well. And yeah, I will actually mention something about the Nero though. But yeah, I think the Nero actually has an active spoiler. But if you turn it into a custom version, you actually lose the active spoiler. And the active spoilers are those cool like spoilers that like go up and down depending on your like speed and whatnot. It's a pretty very cool like cosmetic thing. But the active spoilers, I think if they break in the game, like if your vehicle takes enough damage, it'll actually stop working, I think, and you'll actually lose a bit of traction bonus. So it's kind of a cool like cosmetic thing, but it can also be a disadvantage as well. But yeah, I just want to mention that if you do upgrade to the Nero Custom, I think you do lose that active spoiler. That's kind of something unique with the Nero, is the regular non-custom one actually has that active spoiler. I'm pretty certain. But again, this is not on discount only. The Nero Custom like upgrade and even in all Benny's upgrades are on that 50% off apparently, according to the Newswire. So if there is one definitely worth getting this time, it would probably be just a regular Nero just for that upgrade and whatnot. But yeah, now I'll give a closer look at like the Simeon vehicles, and then I'll see if any of those are on discount, because I didn't speak much of it on the like what's new section. Should probably said if they were on discount, like while I was on like the what's new section, but I'll do it while I'm at Simeon's here. Plus I want to show off the price of dollars since it's not normally purchasable. But yeah, starting off with the regular baller that you cannot normally purchase, and that's why you don't see a website. Usually you don't actually see a website on there if it's not normally purchasable, but according to the Newswire, it's not purchasable now. There's that one. It says 90,000. So, but yeah. Currently, when I went on like the what's new section and stuff, it claims that it's not normally available for purchase. I know the baller actually is like a couple different models for like the regular like 2013 like baller. I'm pretty sure I think it has at least like 2 different models compared to most of the vehicles or something. So maybe it's a different model, but maybe they just like reuse the price of the other baller. I don't know. But according to Rockstar, it's previously unavailable, so it could be a rare baller. So it could be kind of worth the purchase if you like collecting rare vehicles, kind of. But obviously now it's on here, it's not going to really be as rare. But obviously it's only going to be on here for the 1 week. So I'm not gonna test drive this one like I usually do for the like pretty interesting ones there. But here's a little closer look at the, like Seminole Frontier. I'll have to see if they're on like discount, like I mentioned earlier. Alright, no, that's not on discount. Other ones do seem to be on discount though. I don't seem to see Sugoi on there either for discount, just purely on the 4 here. So yeah, the Sugoi is not on discount. Here's just a closer look and whatnot now. What's the Kinjo? Yeah, that does not look to be on discount either, so here's basically just a closer look. I think there's a tulip there, and that seems to be on a discount though, so if there's one on discount, it seems to be the tulip for the Simeon showroom here this time. So I might take it for a bit of a test drive and talk about it a little bit. And yeah, I don't think that's actually one of those like tuner vehicles. I think it was like Ford tuners of class. Alright, yeah, that was from Dominic Sino Heist. And yeah, it's not on discount or anything, so not going to be worth bringing it up. And yeah, here's the classic tulip, which seems to be the one that appears to be on a discount. And yeah, the tulip is a 40% off discount. So I get 40% off there. And yeah, this one will be a little more expensive compared to on like the website, and that's because it comes with a livery on it. Because if you purchase it on the website, it won't have the livery on it. It will just be a vanilla vehicle, basically. I'll test drive it while I talk about performance here on the tulip. But yeah. Figure I would do a little wheelie there, why not? But yeah. According to Bruffy1322 on this spreadsheet, at least before Criminal Enterprise, the Class A tulip is the 14th place lap time and then 27th place top speed. So again, I think the numbers might be a little bit less because of the Criminal Enterprise update, but yeah. At least 14th place lap time, like 27th place top speed. Being outside the top 10, I just don't really feel it's all that worth it. So the best use for it would probably honestly be like customizations and stuff. But it's not one of those better like top 10 like performing muscle cars in lap time or top speed. I'm not sure why I went here. If they go back there, return it. So there. And yeah, don't treat that as like an actual performance test or anything. Obviously, it's just a stock vehicle. with like a livery on it, basically.
Have shilling bum
So
deals
it's not
door
the
to
true
door when you were still
performance.
neck deep in your ma's tits. Don't try to fuck a motherfucker, asshole.
And yeah, from here, I basically got to talk like money opportunities and like discounts and stuff. I think since I went to all the showrooms and stuff.
It's like you can read my mind. You know what? We should
I
throw
might
back a
draw off
few
those red
dollars.
glow shades here actually, since I'm gonna be straying away from like these dealerships and stuff. Oh damn, it's fucking raining now. That might mean like thunder and shit. Hopefully I'll still be fine doing the stream and shit. I would assume so, but yeah. If anything were to happen during it or something, that'd be why.
Hi there.
Yeah, red glow shades. There's those red ones.
That's from our exclusive line.
Maybe it's just the green one from Sprunk, but the red one seems to be the glow ones here. And being glow shades, I think some like the lighting features and like the interaction menu where you can change like the lighting on certain clothing, I assume would work on those glasses. But yeah, that was a little look at those glasses there. I'm not wearing them now, obviously. I just want to
Make
show them
sure
in the
you
clothing
bring one.
store. I didn't apply it or anything to the character, no. Anyway, in terms of money opportunity, I already mentioned the time trial, but I'll probably be showing it off later. And I'll probably do the run with the new muscle car since it's looped back to the first HSW time trial. So if I do it, I'll probably use the muscle car that came out last event. Okay. It's not necessarily going to be a super great way of showing this off, but yeah. Might not be that great of a way to show it off, unless I go to the actual nightclub. I don't want to be going to properties constantly, because that'll add up to maybe like 2 hours or something. But yeah. It's another thing to do with the nightclub that I've not mentioned yet, and that will be 2 times money, RP, and goods in business battles. Private enterprise is the ultimate battleground in internal back and forth of supply versus demand, corporation versus corporation, worker against worker. Wage war by taking part in business battles against their fellow moguls. All those who take part will earn 2 times money, RP, and goods for getting involved this week. So yeah. Business battles, 2 times money, RP, goods. That's a pretty decent opportunity there, actually. Obviously, it won't be anywhere near the amount of money you'll get for the actual like sales of the actual business stuff, but still very good because that contributes to said business, so you get more goods over to it and whatnot. But yeah. And yeah, I think the money you get on hand for the actual like business battles, I think you get like 10 to like 20,000 or something like per like good or something. So I think like doubling that could be pretty decent for sure. Business battles are like nice and quick kind of like free mode things, and you can get paid a little bit on hand for it as well, not just in terms of like the goods you occurred to the warehouse, but you do get some on hand cash as well. And yeah, you'll get 2 times the usual goods at your actual warehouse when you do those said business battles. And yeah, business battles, those might refer to the ones that you have to do in public lobbies. Not sure if it counts those like new like business battle like missions that you can apparently do from like Johan or something now with the Criminal Enterprise update. If it does count those, then that would probably be the better method as a solo player if you don't want to get super involved in like the public lobbies and stuff in the game. Because I think business battles you still have to go in public lobbies for. It's only like the selling and like the sourcing of businesses for the most part I think you can do in like invite only. Whereas business battles are more of like a free mode event, so you do need it for players for this to trigger basically. But yeah, if you do need to go to public lobbies and stuff to get those business battles, you need like 3 players, I think, at least like 3 to 5 players, I think, for business battles to spawn. I don't recommend going 6 or over, because that will also let this free mode event spawn. By free mode events, I mean like those ones from like late 2015, like the ones with like the purple text and stuff, like criminal damage and like hunt the beast and stuff. If you're at 6 or more players, it will spawn those as well. And nothing's going on with those, so you don't want to reduce the frequency of this business battle spawning, so I would say stay between like 3 to 5 players in an invite only lobby would be the perfect way to spawn those business battles. But if the Johan missions do count, that's a nice other method you can do now as of the Criminal Enterprise update. So from what I understand, you usually only get like 1 thing of goods when you do that. So if it does count for those, you might get at least like 2 goods or something. But yeah, as far as I know, the Johan missions are kind of like mini business battles or something that you can do like solo and like invite onlys and stuff from Johan again. But yeah, like I said, 3 to 5 player invite only lobbies is the best way you can go about trying to spawn it business battles as much as possible, so you can take the most advantage out of the business battles. So in terms of active money making, aside for the selling, which only takes like 30 minutes at most per sale or whatever, so that's obviously not going to be a huge time investment. A good money opportunity for a huge time investment would definitely go to those business battles if you set them up correctly, like I mentioned. So a very good money opportunity there. Next will be 2 times money in RP on Sumo, and that is an adversary mode. And this goes to regular Sumo. As far as I know, Sumo Remix I think is permanent for the Remix version, but this refers to regular Sumo, which was brought back for the month of September. So once the month of October comes around, I think they'll be vaulting Sumo again.
What's up?
But yeah, Sumo 1 through 6. In terms of making money, I think the more players you have, typically... Yeah, I think the amount of players can typically, like, increase the amount of money. So 2 to 4 players of the Maze Bankier, since you have less players, that might mean less money. So money-wise, keep that in mind. So in terms of money making, the other 5 maps would probably be better. And yeah, they all take place on like different buildings, and you basically gotta push other vehicles off of said buildings. So obviously, best map would be like personal preference. I don't really necessarily think there would be much of like a better map over another map or something. But yeah, even then, adversary modes are more of a mode of fun. You're not really like necessarily going to be playing it to make money though. So money making, I just don't recommend adversary modes, even with the 50% increase that they did with the criminal enterprise update for like the general payouts, and that 50% would also be on double as well. So it'll make more than you did previously on Sumo, but still, even then I just don't feel it would necessarily be that worth doing. And yeah, Sumo, I assume that would be a pretty quick adversary mode since you literally just push vehicles off of a building. I assume that could be something that could be done pretty damn quick if you're good about it. So yeah, money making, I just probably wouldn't recommend it, to be honest. I would more recommend those business battles, even if you're not huge on going in like more public lobbies, or if you don't have like 3 to 5 people to invite or something. Still feel the business battles would be better to do. And yeah, this one has been going on for a couple weeks now. Yeah, this one went on for a couple weeks now, but this is the last week of doing it. And that is the 3 times money in an RP in the hot ring circuit. And again, racing is more of like a mode of fun, I would say, some of the adversary modes, so don't expect a very serious payout. But you can do racing by yourself, so I recommend races over adversary modes, in a sense. And yeah, like the adversary modes, the races also got like 50% more money as of criminal enterprises. So they kind of buffed up the racing payouts. So I think on free times, I think normally within like 8 to 10 minutes, if you're playing by yourself, could get you like 24 to like 25,000. So maybe now if you do like a race by yourself, you purposely wait that like 8 to 10 minutes for the max payout, which is probably the most efficient way in a sense to get more payout if you're mainly playing by yourself. You could maybe make more like $30,000 to $40,000 instead, with the like increased amount they did with the criminal enterprises, where they buffed the race payouts 50% permanently. So you can make okay money on it if you do that method. Otherwise, obviously, if you're going up against other players, that'll be purely off of like luck and like randomness and stuff of how you do and whatnot. So again, I don't necessarily recommend it the most, but I would probably put it a little above like the adversary mode. Because for one, it's 3 times over 2 times like Sumo is. Yeah, this one's 3 times. And yeah, I know this one's went on for a couple weeks, but reminder, this is the last week apparently now you'll be able to do this on 3 times. Alright, and then I think just discounts left to cover here, and then that should do for the event side of things. And from there I'll be playing the actual game, where I do like the time trials and stuff. Anything I really feel like playing, really. Since there's not really much of a new content edition this time, I may be doing some of the money stuff this time instead. But yeah. And again, for the Sprunk E-Cola promotion thing, it's like the last week you should be able to get those free Sprunk and E-Cola liveries for any vehicle that has any. There's free champagne at the nightclub apparently for like drinking and stuff. But I'm kind of going over the non-vehicle discounts first because they're some of the more boring ones. Alright, some property discounts to go over here. remain involved in nightclub, as some of the money opportunities would suggest. But yeah. I think this one's the most expensive here was the Vinewood, so nightclubs being 40% off would make the $1.7 million most expensive nightclub $1,020,000. So like $680,000, 40% off and most expensive there. Renovations look to be full price this time. Alright, yeah. But your renovations are full price this time though. So you're only getting a discount on the default property. On the website at least. All the other discounts I think you have to go inside the nightclub for. And I'm just gonna say what they are and like how good they are and whatnot. But yeah. Nightclub equipment upgrade is 60% off. The nightclub equipment increases your like amount of money and stuff, or like basically makes your nightclub more efficient at making the product in a sense for the nightclub equipment. So that's definitely very worth getting for the nightclub equipment, so you can get more money out of your product and stuff. Security upgrade is 50% off. Security upgrade, it's hard to recommend security upgrade much though. I think you can only get rated with your nightclub and stuff if you're a CO or MC. So just don't stay a CO or MC for a really ridiculously prolonged period of time. I would say only use it if you're actually like buffering with the CO or MC. If you're just going around in a session, just like get out of CO or MC, and security shouldn't be much of an issue, whether you have it or not. But I would still get the security upgrade just in case, though. Security upgrade is still worth it just in case, though, especially for those higher amounts of product that you may be storing at any time. To reduce the frequency on those business raids. And then hiring the staff members for the clubs are 50% off. So the staff members might be those like warehouse technicians, or it might be like the staff upgrade or something, which again would be similar to the equipment upgrade. Like the staff upgrade, I think would also make you more money basically. So if it's a staff upgrade like the other businesses in the game, then I think it increases your money even more on like your production rate and stuff. Or if it means the warehouse technicians, it still helps for the money making as well, because you can have up to 5 like warehouse technicians. So that is all of the nightclub discounts. But yeah, that's all those nightclub discounts. And I want to say this discount again, because I was only talking about it when it comes to Nero. But yeah. Notice that none of these are on discount. Like I mentioned earlier, you're getting 50% off the upgrade prices. So I assume that would include the new wide body one, for example, as well. So technically, you might be able to get 50% off of like a new upgrade price, at least of the new Briosa 300 wide body, for example. So in terms of a new vehicle, you might be able to get 50% off of the Briosa 300 wide body, so that could be kind of nice. But yeah, according to the Newswire, upgrades cost 50% less, which would be the conversion, like upgrade that changes it over to like the different model, basically, for the customized example. So any customized example upgrade should be 50% off. And as for values, you can't see them on the website. You'll just have to take them over to Penny's or your like office with like the mod shop and whatnot. And yeah, last but not least, I'll go over very particular vehicles on discount I've yet to talk about. Okay, I think there's 7 discounts I still need to talk about here. Okay, I don't think there's any on Arena War. None on Benny's. Elitist would be first then, between the website order there. There's at least 3 of them on there. But yeah. Starting off with the blimp there, instead of being $895,000, it looks like it's $537,000. I was about to say 500, but it's just 537,000. So 40% off, that's the difference there. But yeah. It may not look like it, but the blimp actually has a pretty unique usage, actually. Stupid road, damn it, but yeah. The blimp actually has a somewhat unique use, actually. It might not look like it, but it does. So I'm not going to talk performance on it, because it actually has a kind of unique usage. But yeah. The blimp actually has unlimited flares on it, believe it or not. It apparently has unlimited flares on it. Now I know that's not as much of a perk anymore, because apparently the Sparrow that got the added flares on it, not the Sea Sparrow, but the regular Sparrow from the submarine, they added flares to that. And apparently the flares on the Sparrow are also unlimited. And the regular Sparrow, you're also getting weapon capabilities, whereas you're not on the blimp. Blimp is just civilian, but it does have unlimited flares, apparently. And yeah, as a bonus on the Sparrow, you can even get the chaff as well. You're not forced to have the flares like you are on the blimp. But still, interesting usage. The blimp has unlimited flares on it. But regardless, you're a pretty big target, so it's probably not going to help that much anyways. That's a pretty cool unique usage on it, so I'm not going to really go performance on there. But yeah, then the Alpha Z1 is also 40% off. So instead of being almost 1.6 on a trade price, it makes it a little under $1 million on a trade price. And yeah, it's not weaponized though, so we'll go over performance. But yeah, the Alpha Z1 in terms of lap time is basically the best plane of the game. It also has like 6th place top speed as well. And yeah, there's no planes in Criminal Enterprises, so that would still be up to date. So yeah, you're getting the best lap time plane by getting the Alpha Z1. So it's the best plane in terms of, so it's the best plane for taking corners, basically, which could be kind of good for an air race, obviously. Like that new one they added in like Cayo Perico, for example, like in that air race, it could be good for that, for example. But yeah, given that it's not weaponized and because it's from Smuggler's Run, you have to actually put it in your hangar, which means it's not a Pegasus aircraft. But yeah, this one you put in your hangar, whereas this one's Pegasus. But yeah, because you put it in your hangar and you only have like a limit of like 20 slots in your hangar, I would say it's kinda not too worth getting anymore. Especially if they add like one more plane in the game. If they add like another like weaponized plane in the game and they don't expand that like hangar storage, then I would say Alpha Z1 wouldn't be too worth having anymore. So it's hard to say like the fate of Alpha Z1, like what its fate would be if they were to add like one more like weaponized airplane sometime in the future, and then they don't expand hangar storage. So sure, if you really like it, it's definitely very good. But there's definitely a whole bunch of better options. Personally, I got rid of the Howard NX-25 because these are like the two that aren't weaponized that you can store in the hangar. That can only be put in the hangar. And yeah, given there's only 20 slots, I decided to sell my Howard NX-25. But if another weaponized like airplane comes out and they don't expand the hangar storage, I would personally probably sell this. So I'm saying it's not basically a super good investment anymore. Only if you do a lot of air races, basically. Otherwise, it might be one considering selling, basically. But still, it's number one lap time for the planes class. That's pretty good. But yeah. Next will be 30% off of the Nagasaki Havoc. So on a trade price, instead of $1,730,000, it'll be $1,211,000, so around like 500,000 there. But yeah, for that, I'll go into the CO menu here real quick, actually. And if you go into CO vehicles, you can actually spawn the Havoc from the CO vehicle. So to be able to spawn the Havoc for the CO vehicle list, if you purchase it, you can. But if you purchase the Havoc, you can spawn it through the CO menu, which is very nice. I think you might be able to spawn it as well for like a road captain or something for like the MC as well. For like the MC, there's like a road captain that might be able to spawn it. That's pretty cool. And yeah, the one in your hangar can also be weaponized though. The one that you spawn for CO and stuff will not be weaponized, but the one for the hangar you can weaponize. In my opinion, the one you'll probably use the most is the CO version, because that spawn convenience. The weaponized one probably won't get that much use, but just because it's in the CO vehicle list, I do feel it's very worth picking up. So definitely a very good one there to purchase, I would say. So I'll go into Legendary for the next couple or whatever. I think mainly just a swinger and a brawler I need to talk about right now. But yeah, starting off with the swinger between the two I'll be talking about here still, I've yet to mention. Instead of 900,000, you'll get $545,400 here for the swinger. So like around 350-ish, like savings, like 1,000. That's not too bad. But yeah, I'll go on Buffy 152 spreadsheet, go over to performance here. But yeah, according to Buffy 152 spreadsheet, the swinger is at least a B tier sport classic vehicle, which would at least make it 9th place in lap time and 12th place top speed. Though if you actually include if you do include the like Sterling GT HSW, that would actually make it a 10th place lap time. So it is at the bottom of top 10 for lap time. So I feel it's almost out of like relevancy in terms of performance. So do know if you purchase it, it's about to be like out of top 10 territory if they had like another pretty good sport classic vehicle in the game. But for now, it can still be an okay. It can still be an okay pickup on 9th gen. On 8th gen, that would at least be like maybe 8th place or something still. So 8th gen, it's still definitely pretty okay for sure. But 9th gen, it's definitely kind of going to start to be in decline. And yeah, the other one is the Brawler, I'm pretty sure. And that's one of those like story mode vehicles, which means it's a DLC vehicle that made it into story mode. But yeah, like the Osiris. But yeah, just like the Osiris, the old Gotham game updates were actually the last like updates that brought like DLC vehicles into the story mode. So if you really want to, you can purchase a Brawler in the story mode, and therefore it would kind of make it pointless to get it in the online in a sense. But yeah, it's in the off-road class, and I think it might actually still be kind of decent for off-road in a way, if I recall. But yeah, I'll go over performance here real quick. But yeah, the Brawler is at least a C-tier off-road vehicle. C-tier off-road vehicle, at least for the Brawler, according to Buffy 152 spreadsheet. And that makes it at least 11th place at lap time, and then 2nd place top speed. I think the Draugr might actually be better for lap time and top speed, at least. But still, that would make it at least like a 3rd place in top speed still, which is still pretty decent. But yeah, you can still get some pretty decent top speed with the Brawler and the off-road class here, actually. So it's still an okay pickup, even though it's also in the story mode, just because it has that good performance. For top speed, I feel could make it a pretty okay pickup. Plus the Brawler actually has a pretty unique feature on it as well, actually. Might not look the part, but if you go in like the water, but yeah. If you go into water, there's a chance that the Brawler can actually like survive into water as well. Because I think the way the Brawler works, if you go in water, it actually like raises its like suspension up for a little bit. So the brawler can actually survive in the water a little bit longer than the average vehicle. So it's a pretty cool, like, niche, like, unique use for the brawler. So it does have that unique usage for it. That's more resistant to being, like, that's more resistant to the water in the game, basically. That's a cool unique feature as well, aside for the top 3 at worst in top speed. But yeah, top 3, top speed, pretty decent and respectable. But yeah, 2 more vehicles to go over on 2 different websites, I think, now. So that'll be Warstock and then Stubborn, I think. And yeah, it looks like it's only the Strike Force, and because it's weaponized, Oh yeah, and I actually kind of already went over to Arbiter GT, actually, so I may only have the Striker B11 Strike Force to go over, actually. Before I'm basically done with the event side of things, at least, for, like, the details of it all. Alright. But yeah. The one discount on this website would go to the B11 Strike Force, and that is 30% off. But it looks like you still get over $1 million in savings even with 30%, so that's pretty good. And I don't think this vehicle is I don't think this vehicle is a trade price either, so I think this is the price for everybody here as well, so no matter what, you should be getting over $1 million savings here. I don't think that's a trade price or anything. But yeah, it is weaponized. I'll go over weapon capabilities. But yeah, it's a pretty unique weapon on the front here, being that, like, machine gun, like, turret thing there. And it's actually an explosive cannon. Kind of a unique explosive cannon, too. Has a pretty cool iconic, like, bird sound or something. It has a pretty cool iconic, like, bird sound to it, so it sounds pretty cool. And yeah, it is explosive as well, but it's not a very good explosive cannon, believe it or not. Even though it's explosive, you actually have to hit things pretty, like, spot on. But yeah, the Hydra, Laser, and, like, Savage cannons are pretty good explosive cannons, and that's because, like, they also have, like, splash damage to them or something, I believe. But yeah, the B11 Strike Force doesn't really have, like, splash damage, so you pretty much have to hit your targets, like, directly and whatnot. Which might not be too bad for, like, a vehicle or, like, another aircraft. But for a player, that's not very good in terms of hitting, like, a player, for example. So I'm just saying it's not one of the better explosive guns. It's not necessarily, like, a bad one. Though it is kind of a bad machine gun in comparison to Hydra, Laser, Savage again. And yeah. Then it has regular, like, lock-on missiles, and then also barrage missiles. And yeah, the lock-on missiles are also pretty disappointing, similar to the gun here. And that's because they actually have a limit on them. Most aircraft actually do not have a limit for their, like, lock-on missiles. But the B-11 Strike Force is limited to only 30 missiles. Once you use 30 missiles, you basically have to, like, recall your vehicle to refill the weapons on it for the tracking missiles. Now I assume there's a limit on it because they want people to use these like barrage missiles more. But even vehicles like I think like the Hunter, for example, also has like the regular missiles and the barrage missiles. Yeah, this has barrage and regular missiles too. But this one at least has unlimited missiles on it for the homing missiles. But yeah, the Strike Force is like the one aircraft that has very limited like missiles on it with like 30. And I'm not counting stuff like the Mark II, I mean like proper like aircraft like the B-11 Strike Force and like plane in the game basically. So yeah, that's a huge weakness of it, is it doesn't have unlimited tracking missiles. So it ruins the utility of the vehicle. Like honestly, if it had unlimited missiles, I think that alone could make it a lot more useful per se. And then yeah, there's the barrage missiles, which lets you use like up to like 7 missiles at a time in like a huge like volley or something per pod or something. So it lets you use like a lot of missiles at once, but they're not going to be like a lock on or anything. So you gotta like free aim with those. But yeah, it's the only plane in the game that actually has barrage missiles, I think. I think no other plane actually has barrage missiles in this game. Like, yeah, there's a couple helicopters with barrage missiles, but I think it's still the only plane in the game that has barrage missiles. That's kind of unique. Besides for being the only plane with barrage missiles, and then the kinda unique explosive cannon, it's kind of a pass, to be honest. I feel there's more negatives than there is positives on the vehicle, to be honest. But then again, it is weaponized in like 95% of vehicles in the game, so that also makes it very worth the pickup. So it's hard to not recommend a weaponized vehicle. I'm just saying this is like not a very good weaponized vehicle, basically, for a plane at least. Which you expect like unlimited tracking missiles on the planes, given pretty much almost every other plane has it, basically unlimited. And yeah, I know I said 2 discounts earlier, but I did actually go over to Arbiter GT. I said it's basically like the second like worst HSW vehicle in the game for muscle car. And it kind of is the worst HSW vehicle in general, from what I've heard. But still, since there's only 2 muscle cars of HSW, but still, like I said, since there's only 2 muscle cars of HSW, it's still very worth the pickup though, since there's only 2 HSW muscle cars in the game. But yeah, I'm done with all the like discounts and like money opportunities and stuff finally. Sorry if I was a bit slow near the end or something, but like my throat's being a fucking bitch and shit, so yeah. I'll do regular time trial followed by HSW time trial right now, at least. Regular time trial will be the same, like 100,000, whatever, but the HSW one, like I mentioned earlier, should be like 500,000, because it's double and it's only like 250,000 on the HSW for the 9th gen only time trial.
What you need, boss? Some wheels? I can bring them round. I'll bring it by.
Alright, yeah. I thought when it said something about like stars, it would be like the Galileo Observatory on that like description thing, since it didn't say a direct location. So it turned out I was right with my prediction there. As I was saying earlier, like way earlier in the stream. And personally, I think this is my first time doing this town trial, by the way, but yeah. Because this is one of those like newer town trials, I think from like 2019, and I haven't actually bothered with them since like the 9th gen version, until like the 9th gen version came out with the HSW stuff. Then I got interested in wanting to finally do that stuff. And yeah, by the way, most motorcycles you can like backward on stick, which I didn't mention earlier, but yeah. Cocktail Drag and HSW version as well, obviously, are one of the rare exceptions where you actually do forward on stick as if you're doing like a stoppie for that best possible speed, whereas most vehicles you do like a wheelie for your best possible speed. For like the directional input, mostly, kind of. On the wheelies, you get the most benefit from an actual wheelie, but you still apparently get a little bit of benefit for like just doing the like direction on the stick. And of course, my headlight got popped. Fucking bullshit, bro. Alright, first try. Yeah, it's HSW and like Gen and stuff, so not too surprising per se, but yeah. Maybe would have been a little bit better if I wasn't trying to like recall my Sparrow. I should have done that before starting the town trial there, but still. And yeah, now I'll do the HSW, and I'll be doing that new muscle car for it. Yeah, that's the fully random event thing there. That's right. I remembered right that would be a flare even before I saw the like flare smoke. But yeah, it's one of those new events that they added during Criminal Enterprises in like one of the previous weeks, by the way, for those that might not be as familiar with those like, flare things. Alright, that's fine, because I didn't really care for it, because that was on a previous, like, event week where it first came out, and that I bothered with that in the first place. Not trying to get too distracted with that or something. And yeah, reminder, those part times depend on the vehicle you use. So there's certain classes of vehicles, there are like certain tiers of HSW vehicles and whatever. You have different time requirements, so keep that in mind when choosing your vehicle and stuff for HSW 10.
I'm on the clock. What you want? Some wheels? It's on the way.
And yeah, given it looped back to the first time trial this week, I'm going to be doing my next like 7. But yeah, fucking NPC, but yeah. Given the time trials, it looped back to like the first time trial again for HSW. My next like 7 or 8 time trials I'll be doing with the Vajero CX HSW here. So they expect me to use this vehicle for the next like couple months maybe for these HSW time trials that I do on streams for the fun of it and whatnot. I mean, I do it for the fun of it. But at least this time it's on 2 times. It's extra worth it. 250, 300,000 is pretty good. I feel don't normally even on these time trials. Definitely a lot more worth it than the other ones. Okay, 7-second difference from the drag there apparently. So 128 for this one. Yeah, and that might be because it's a muscle car. Or most likely would be. Oh shit. It's my first super serious use of it, so yeah, I might be a bit rocky with it as it was earlier there. Had the like little spin out there. I feel it should do pretty fine for me now. HSW is pretty easy typically. At least the earlier ones at least. Okay, 121, 879. And yeah, 502,000 on the 2 times money and RP and all. Yeah, 2 times money, 502,000 here. Awesome. Oh yeah, I didn't represent at all for E-caffeinated, aka my name for, yeah, aka my name for, what's it called, my E-cola alpha, of course. Team E-cola, because it's caffeinated, unlike Sprung, because it's based on like Sprite and like fucking Syrup Mist and shit. It's not actually based on like Mountain Dew or anything, it's more like Sprite, whatever, and that shit ain't caffeinated. So I doubt the GTA one is. Like, sure, it looks cooler and shit, kinda, but I go for the drink itself, not the looks. That's how I view it. Yeah, me, I'm Coke or Sprite real life, so I chose E-cola. Even though I'm in more of a sprung vehicle right now, but so I don't care. Just right on headlights. Just right on his tail lights. That's totally surprising, huh? Had a way on like the eco body students, it was bore teeth that were white. And they're like custom tires. Okay. But yeah. I'll look for the money opportunities one last time, see if there's anything I want to do before I get off here. Like, show anything off or anything. I don't really think so, though. Alright, yeah. I'm not doing anything with the nightclub because I still haven't shown off like the new stuff with it. I only showed off like the new stuff with special cargo so far. I still haven't got to the biker stuff yet. So yeah. I haven't done the new nightclub stuff yet, so I'm still waiting on it for like a more dedicated stream on that stuff. Otherwise, I would maybe do like a nightclub sale or something, but yeah, I'm saving it for another time. But yeah. But yeah, that is going to be it for this stream. Unfortunately, there was no new vehicle release or much of anything like that this time around. Again, my best bet is to maybe want people to focus on Reddit Online or something. Not sure though, but that would be my best possible bet for that. Or they might have simply forgot to release a vehicle and they were like, oh fuck it, we're just going to do a generic event or some shit. But yeah, most likely next time I would assume there would be an actual vehicle release at least. There's something, there should be much more to go over for next time. So that'll be next stream most likely. So don't necessarily think I'm going to be doing the biker stuff still. I don't know, I have a tendency to say I want to do these like miscellaneous streams and then I can hold back on them for a while. So honestly it's kind of better to save the miscellaneous stuff after like the fun stuff gets out of the way. That way I can have more funner streams like after all the like trip feed release and whatnot in a way. To me that's kind of what I intend with that kind of thing and whatnot. But yeah. That is finally going to be it for the stream. Team E-Cola for the win. I don't care if it's still his popular one, it's caffeinated at least. Hope you enjoyed.